What's up, guys? Illuminostic. Just a quick stream. Pretty tired. Getting old, so I've been working on a libido-enhancing diet and plant medicine combinations. Working a little too well. So I have some pretty exciting news. MountainGnosis is moving forward. August, July, September, we have secured an incredible location. It's a horse ranch. The owner strikes me as an incredibly sweet, very interesting lady. She gave us a ride back to town from her ranch, and she saw an old man in a wheelchair, slowed down, rolled down the window, talked to him for a minute, very kind, beautiful place. And so we're going to explore ruins. We're going to eat superfood diet based around maca and cushuro, which is a blue-green algae that, if you guys check out my Andean blue-green algae video, there are links to studies that have been done on it, and it has more protein than meat in 3 forms that are super bioavailable. It's being looked at as a potential solution to anemia and malnutrition in third world countries, like the leading, candidate, I guess. It only grows in very clean, high country lakes here, and it is full of amino acids and polyphenols and all sorts of a cytotoxin. It's actually a colony of cyanobacteria that make this skin, and inside there's basically a community of creatures, and they produce a cytotoxin that stops cancer cells from replicating. So, and on and on. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. So that will be served with all meals, along with coca powder pancakes. And it's going to be incredible. We're going to have guest shamans, San Pedro. I don't work with kambo or bufo, so we're going to have guests come and administer those, the best in the valley, and that's optional. We have 3 luxury suites. One of them has a jet bath tub, a fireplace, office space. They're huge. The bathrooms are incredible. Balconies. And then for everyone else, we're going to have tents and shared bathrooms. So there'll be like a really, really low budget option. And then for 3, could be couples. One of the rooms has 2 beds, so it could be shared. Yeah, I'm super stoked. So here's a quick slideshow. This is a local laguna. Look at those mountains. So let's see what we got here. This is a local, they're not exactly ruins. It's hard to explain, and no one really understands. These rocks are limestone, and if you look around the base of these sites, I guess, the limestone has fossils and other minerals in it. But these monolithic stones don't have anything in them. So it appears that they were actually pulverized and some sort of bonding agent was added, and they were actually formed. And if you watch my video with Camille, a local author, there are miles of these things. And there are all these weird, I don't know how to even describe it, like indentations and just flat spots on the rocks, and it makes no sense. It would have been so much work, and there's nothing that suggests a use or an explanation. No one knows anything about it. Some of the spots look like thrones, and there is a huge cavern system. If you walk along the border of Cusco on the sidewalk, you'll see all these entrances to these caverns that have been sealed up by the city. And supposedly there are elongated skulls still found in there if you break in. There's vitrified stone, which is where the stone has been heated so hot that it turns to glass. But how, some of these vitrified sites are like a mile in to these caverns. So how do you get a heat source capable of vitrifying stone that deep? So let's keep going here. This is an Incan fortress. This is just from the window of the Collectivo. Now look at this. Look how tight those lines are. It's absolutely incredible. And the size of these stones. And this stuff is everywhere around Cusco. Just massive. And look how tight. So as part of the retreat, we'll be going out and exploring even some of the underground areas with the vitrified stone. Also so that is a very large piece of cushuro, the blue-green algae superfood that I was describing. And by the way, I can send it to you, dehydrated. 10 kilos dries to about 100 grams. So, but it retains everything. You don't need the cyanobacteria to be alive to get the benefits. It's not like acidophilus. And actually, the desiccation may cause them to break down their walls and release the cytotoxins better. So it may actually be more beneficial to eat it dry. These are local Andean women with my son. This is the Temple of the Sun site, which was the most important religious place, more important than Machu Picchu, and it was actually super depressing. The Temple of the Sun itself has actually been completely destroyed, and this is the Temple of Lightning. There's a Temple of Venus and a Temple of Rainbow. And the Catholics destroyed almost all of it and built a cathedral. So there's Incan stone a few feet up, and then you see where the Catholics just attached a cathedral on top of it. And I have a lot to say about that. I'm going to do a stream soon, because this whole solar mystery is a huge part of my life. And I recently discovered that the Incans actually did see gold as crystallized consciousness in the same way that we do in the Western mystery tradition. They place no monetary value on it. So this site may have been the real El Dorado. The walls were apparently covered in gold. There were solid gold animal statues. Everything was gold. They ate out of golden bowls. They used golden utensils, but only because they recognized it as the sweat of the sun god, like crystallized consciousness, crystallized divinity. And it's really interesting to me that the Catholics also worship the sun, but they didn't know it. So they had been detached from the true meaning, but they also were obsessed with just getting as much gold as possible, but for all the wrong reasons. You understand what I mean? They had been detached from the real purpose, but enslaved by the power of the truth. And that was done by thinly veiling that truth in a myth. So they were simultaneously under the, hypnotism of truth, but without the connection to the real meaning. And so they were insane. More on that later. Oh, the video, because this is funny. One more point about that, actually. If you look directly across from that where I took that video, the Catholic stonework is sloppy. There's mortar, half-inch thick. It's uneven. And look at that perfection. So if these people were that advanced, what would have happened if they hadn't been interrupted? What might have come from these Incans if they hadn't been destroyed by lunatics with guns?
Oh, the video, because this is funny.
I took it.
Yeah, this is hilarious. When we arrived at the ranch where we're going to be having the retreat, the first thing she showed us was this giant San Pedro cactus. And if you look, you can see they ate all the green skin, which is where most of the alkaloid is, most of the mescaline and the other active components. They didn't eat the core at all. And they didn't eat any other plants. Her sheep. Look at this.
My sheep now, and now yesterday I brought in the mountain. Yeah, go.
Oh no. They ate your cactus?
Yeah, Eddie cut is my sheep. Yeah. It is incredible. I was angry.
All right, here's one of the rooms. I didn't edit this much, so it's a bit sloppy. But fireplace in the room. Huge, spacious bathroom. Tub. All right. Man, camera work is crazy. This is the view from the balcony of that room. And here is Illuminostic trying to learn to ride a horse Peruvian style after 30 years of not being on a horse.
Yeah.
Have to admit, I was a little bit terrified. Very, very different from American or European.
Very good.
The way the horse sort of dances. She told us that they don't train them to do that. They just do it.
All right, come on, stop. Yeah.
And I didn't put video in this slideshow, but behind the house you can actually see like the giant snow-capped Andean peaks. It's an incredible location. And the owner's an absolute sweetheart. She has no clue about the medicine. I don't think she even knew that the cactus was psychoactive. This is just some weird ruins that I found in the backyard the other day. Look at this. Down inside of that hole, there's like huge rooms. I couldn't figure out how to get in. I don't know if you can see it, but no, not really. It's like 15 feet deep, and there's obviously a room. Yeah, there you go. People have thrown trash down. What the hell? So that is a quick preview of our location. And hold on, let me go into my OBS and make this. Okay, so just in case you're unfamiliar, let me get out of here so I can see the chat. All right. Just in case you're unfamiliar, kambo is a toad venom that has been described by researchers as a cocktail of bioactive compounds. It has the strongest opiate known to man in it, and somehow I think that it's really good for addiction, and I think there's a relationship there. Of course, more studies need to be done, but that's the connection I see. There's really too much to say about it, but there's at least anecdotal evidence that it's good for tumors. I have literally seen at least one person that doctors said, you know, you're past the point of nothing we can do. It was tongue cancer. 3 combo sessions, she was fine. Her tongue was massive. The tumor just disappeared. So it could have been spontaneous remission. This is not medical advice. I'm not making any claims, almighty algorithm. Just saying. And for a tremendous number of other ailments, a lot of people report benefit from combo. So we'll have combo practitioners. Bufo, I do not work with, but it contains 5-MeO-DMT, which is basically, the way I think about it is that most psychedelics take down some of the filter in our nervous system. 5-MeO completely deactivates it. So it's basically a shortcut to nirvana, and it's real. It's actually that. A lot of people don't like that idea that you can just storm heaven. In fact, D.T. Suzuki, the great Zen master, tried LSD, and he said, I'm not saying these aren't the real secrets, but it's like storming heaven and stealing secrets by violence. So, you know, it's kind of a caveat, because it is true that too much power without wisdom can be problematic. At the same time, the experience of unity consciousness is really important. And so, you know, I don't know that we have time in the modern world to sit and meditate for 20 years. We need higher consciousness now. So it's an option. And then we're going to have San Pedro ceremonies with local Andean shaman. I'm actually going out to like the remote towns under the advice of locals to find elders that have not been contaminated by the industry. And we're going to bring those guys in, the best of them. And ayahuasca, of course, and yopo. And there will be the option of going on horseback into the mountains nearby. We'll go to several ruin sites with local authors. And you'll have the option of learning ritual magic with yours truly. Don't really know that there's too much more to say about all that. If you guys have any questions, happy to do my best to answer. Please hit the like button, share, subscribe. If you're interested in attending, email me. In the description, you will find contact info. But yeah, super, super, super excited. I know we have a lot of people coming from past retreats, and they're all incredible people. So I'm super excited to see them all again and to meet new folks. But I am completely exhausted. So I'm going to sign out and mention, of course, that I appreciate every single one of you. Our patrons, by the way, if you're a patron, you get a discount based on your tier and the number of years you've been a patron. And if you're one of those people that contributed to the bailout when there was some unfortunate circumstances recently, you will get that entire amount deducted and your patron discount. So anyone that wants to attend, we're August through September. So yeah, thank you guys all so much, and I hope to see as many of you as can make it, because this place is mind-blowing. I mean, it's absurd. The energy here, the foods, just the feeling of connectivity and peace and tranquility. It's just really an incredible environment. And the locals are amazing. They're very welcoming. It's the only place I've been in South America where I don't feel like an outsider. You know, they don't treat you like a gringo. You're just another person. So it's really incredible. And after a good night's rest, I'll be back with more info. And the next stream is actually going to be about colonialism in a way. Because when I went to the Temple of the Sun and saw what they did, it was just so infuriating. So, next up, hit the like button, share, subscribe, consider becoming a patron, and I'll see you guys soon.